So today's topic, we're going to be talking about R. Kelly. Yesterday evening, R. Kelly was found guilty. Now, depending where you get your source from, or what article you done read, or what video you done saw, I mean, people are speculating the type of years R. Kelly is going to get. Some people are saying upwards to 150 years. I have heard 75 years, 40 years. I think the least is 10 years. But whatever the case, this man is not going to be a free man anytime soon. Now, R. Kelly, if you've been living under a rock, allow my brother to explain. R. Kelly is an R&B musician, an R&B king. His biggest hits was I Believe I Can Fly, Half on a Baby, Bump and Grind. The list goes on and on and on. The man has a laundry list of a multitude of hits. Well decorated as a musician, had Soul Train Awards, Grammy, I forgot that MTV Awards. All this man's well decorated, had a multitude of hits, had very successful albums, was also a great writer and producer. And R. Kelly is found guilty. Now, there's a caveat to this news article. Now, I remember a couple of months back, I was talking about how Tasha K gotten information about the trial proceedings and about R. Kelly through a correctional officer, and that and the way how she got it was illegally. Okay, but like I also said in that same video, news networks have been doing this for decades. Okay, so I was sort of giving her a pass. Like TMZ somehow always get documentaries and, documentaries get dockets and information before the trial even starts. Get video footage before there's even a trial, and we don't convict those outlets of doing that. So why all of a sudden we're going to try to convict Tasha K? And by her doing that, R. Kelly's lawyers, his legal team, will go to the judge and demand a mistrial. All right, because of this story. Not to mention the fact that they've been talking about this to the judge since the early part of deliberations before the trial even started, about the possibility of sensitive and classified information is being stolen, if you want to use that word, to a lot of news outlets. And somehow, some way, if this information gets out, it's going to be very hard to find a jury that doesn't know about the information that the state has on R. Kelly. And I talked about how this could possibly set R. Kelly free. But nevertheless, the jurors, which were, I believe it was 7 men and 5 women, convicted R. Kelly. Didn't take them that long. They wasn't in those long, serious discussions. So that could either mean one or two things. Maybe this jury was very, they communicated with each other during the presentations, and they probably have, carefully looked at the evidence and discussed the evidence to themselves. Or maybe, maybe they was already corrupted. They already know about R. Kelly through through the news, through media, through social media. And no matter what R. Kelly's legal team says, he was already going to be presumed guilty anyway. All right. Those two variations could have happened, maybe a combination of both. But nevertheless, R. Kelly has been found guilty. Now, I will say this, hypothetically, let's just say R. Kelly was 100% innocent. Okay? I felt like with all the evidence in front of him and with all the explaining he had to do, I didn't see how he was just going to walk out of that courtroom a free man, even if he was totally innocent. Remember, there was a documentary about R. Kelly, Surviving R. Kelly. There has been articles talking about R. Kelly, and it was just way too much to overcome the mountain of evidence. Even though people can say, "Well, that's hearsay," okay. Technically, he didn't do nothing wrong. He did not hold these women. He did not. Kidnap these women. These women had opportunities to leave him. All right. He didn't keep them from communicating with with law enforcement. And in some of these cases, some of these women, they were, in collaboration with their own parents. Even there was one report where one lady, mother, was texting R. Kelly, and R. Kelly thought he was texting the daughter. And some of these parents would tell these girls to go ahead and go along with it, say that you're over age, that you're old enough, knowing darn well that they were not old enough to even go to the function, to even go to the concert. But that's neither here nor there. That's still up to R. Kelly. I guess you should have, looked at their ID or whatever. He could have took better. A better course instead of just going by what these women say. And it's sort of his responsibility to find out if someone's is over the age or not. Okay, but nevertheless, there was a laundry list of things that he was being accused of, and he has been found guilty. Now, what makes matters worse for R. Kelly is that's just one half of the story. That is chapter 1. He still have more trials in the up and coming future. He has a trial in Georgia, in Chicago, and also in LA. Now, he still has an uphill battle legally. I just don't think, and with this proceeding, there was speculation that R. Kelly was running out of money. Okay, so eventually R. Kelly is going to have to reach some type of plea deal with these other proceedings in these other states. Okay, so it's going to be very hard for R. Kelly to prove his innocence if he is indeed innocent. Okay, so I feel like this is a extremely uphill battle for R. Kelly. If I was him, I would just go ahead and cop a plea with the other states and just go ahead and get them trials over with and see if he can get that time concurrent, not separate. And it really doesn't matter if he couldn't do it, because the man is not going to see freedom ever again. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. Okay. And prisoners look at people who's being charged with this. They don't like prisoners coming in with these type of charges, and they look down at prisoners that way. Now, I don't know if he's going to serve his time in a hardcore prison, or they're going to probably put him in like a, one of those, a federal type white collar type of prison where the risk is he's not going to, lose his life if they put him out in general population. So that's one of the things he could plead to. If he's going to do this time, he might as well try to do the time in a prison where, he don't have to worry about, losing his life there. And I just, look, R. Kelly, the only person R. Kelly could blame is R. Kelly. Now, I know I've read a lot of articles. They talk about how R. Kelly can't read, and some of the people that worked with him was taking advantage of him. Some of them were trying to embezzle money from him. And some of them went, that extra mile as far as making pipe bombs and burning cars and things of that nature. And he has fans that, I remember about 3 or 4 years ago, there was a hairstylist, a lady bailed R. Kelly out with her own money. I thought that was odd and peculiar, but that's a fan of R. Kelly. And there's no crime as far as bailing out your favorite musician. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I feel like the worst has yet to come for R. Kelly. I feel like his legal team is. I think they're at this point. They're exhausted. They don't exploit every out that they could exploit, and it's not working. I thought the Tasha K story would probably easily get them a mistrial. And like I said in that previous video, your lawyers are going to always demand a mistrial. Okay, if someone sneezes wrong, they're going to demand a mistrial. All right, that's how sensitive that word is in a court of law. But nevertheless, R. Kelly has been found guilty. And that's all I got for this story. Guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys on the next video. Deuces.